What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 envelopes that I just recently got back in the mail. So let's just jump right into these. And this first one is postmarked from Las Vegas, Nevada. And it is former Minnesota Twin / Baltimore Oriole on my all-time Orioles set. Dan Graham on 1, 2, 3, and a 4th. So let me tell you about Dan Graham and his playing career in Major League Baseball. Graham, an Arizona native, attended Mesa Community College in Arizona, then eventually transferred to the University of Laverne in Laverne, California. And Graham is one of those guys, again, that was drafted 3 times, but chose not to sign and instead stayed in college. He was drafted by the San Francisco Giants, the Philadelphia Phillies, and finally the Minnesota Twins in the 5th round of the 1975 draft, where he chose to sign after that. Well, he worked his way up in 1975 as a 20-year-old in A-ball for the Twins, all the way till 1979 to AAA with the Twins, and he got a call-up on June 8th, 1979, to fill in for a couple games for the Twins. Well, after the couple games that he was there, he was sent back down to AAA for the Twins to finish out the season. But in the off-season, he was then traded to the Baltimore Orioles. Well, he would start the 1980 season in AAA for the Orioles, but something came about, and he all of a sudden batted .346 in his AAA stint with the Orioles that year. Well, the Orioles noticed that, and in 1980 they called him up to the majors, and he split time catching with then-catcher Rick Dempsey. Well, Graham appeared in 86 games that first full season with the Orioles, and he batted .278 and crushed 15 home runs and drove in 54 RBIs in basically his rookie year for the Orioles. Well, in 1981, he came back, with large expectations. Again, splitting time with Rick Dempsey, even spent some time playing some third base. But his batting average just plummeted to just .176 that year, and he only hit 2 home runs. So in his rookie campaign, he hit 15, and then only came up with 2 home runs the following year. Well, in 1982, the Orioles sent him back down to AAA to get his bearings, and he did pretty decent, batting .272 with 11 home runs, but despite that, at 27 years old, he decided to hang up his cleats and no longer play anymore. So he had an excellent 1980 season with the Orioles, and it's too bad he didn't hang around one more year, because in 1983, the Orioles won the World Series. So I don't know if he would have been in the mix or not, but he definitely put up solid numbers in AAA that year. So I'm not really sure post-playing career what he wound up doing. He lives in Las Vegas now, so maybe he works in, Las Vegas in some capacity. Not really sure about the other 2 guys on this card. I know that Rick Sofield and Gary Ward have been coaching in the last couple of years. I actually got Gary Ward, and I want to say I might have even got him to sign this card, and of course I didn't send it to Dan, which makes totally no sense whatsoever. But I'm going to have to go through my Gary Wards and see if I got this one signed, or I just, remember thinking I got it signed because I was going to see him in person or what have you. But I know Sofield is in coaching somewhere, so maybe I'll try to track him down and send it to him, see if he'll sign. So very happy to add another all-time Oriole to the collection, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so this next one will be very popular with the Los Angeles Dodgers fans that maybe view my channel. And this is former Los Angeles Dodger great pitcher Doug Rowe, or Rowe, I don't know how to say that, on 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the cool thing about Doug is he actually won 13 or more games for the Los Angeles Dodgers for 5 seasons in a row. And this was during the heyday of the Dodgers in the 1970s, when they had, Davey Lopes, Steve Garvey, on down the list of great players. Tommy Lasorda was their manager. There's actually a infamous, I guess you would say, mound visit with Doug and Tommy Lasorda that was recorded on Lasorda's mic, where Doug gave up a couple. Him and Lasorda kind of had a nice little exchange out on the mound after that event. But I'm not going to talk anything negatively about Doug, so let me tell you about his playing career. So Doug originally was drafted out of high school in Texas by the Baltimore Orioles, but chose not to sign and instead attended Texas A&M University, where in 1970 the Los Angeles Dodgers selected him in the first round of the secondary phase of the draft. Well, after having a successful college career at Texas A&M, in 1970 he found himself in Single A and Triple A for the Dodgers affiliate. He had a combined record of 12 wins and 2 losses and 16 starts for the Dodgers that year. In 1971, he would split time between Double A and Triple A, where he went 12-10 with a 2.62 ERA in 28 starts. Well, in 1972, he returned to Triple A, this time full-time, where he appeared in 26 games for the Dodgers and went 14-3 that season. Well, with his success that year, it was hard to ignore, and he got a call-up in September to the Dodgers in 1972. To finish out the 72 season, he posted a 2-2 record with a 2.20 ERA in 7 appearances for the Dodgers. Well, the following year, in 1973, he made the team out of the bullpen and appeared in 31 games and just started 3 for the Dodgers, posting a 4-2 record with a 3.96 ERA. Well, in 1974, Tommy Lasorda decided to name him a starting pitcher, and he went 13-11, appearing in 36 games for the Dodgers that year. He would follow that up in 1975 with a 15-9 record, posting a 3.11 ERA. The 1976 season, winning 16, the highest career total he would ever have in a season. And in 1977, winning 14 games. Then in 1978, again matching the 15-9 record with a 3.26 ERA in 30 starts. Well, in 1979, he had some arm injuries, or some injuries, that precluded him to only 11 starts that year in 79, and he posted a 1-5 record to finish out the 79 season. Well, in 1980, he basically missed the entire Major League season, however had 4 games that he appeared in Double A for the Dodgers that year. He wasn't able to bounce back with the Dodgers in 1980, and the Dodgers released him from his contract before the 81 season. Well, the 81 season, he just moved across town and pitched for the California Angels. However, after 5 starts in the minor leagues, that showed some pretty promise and, pretty good numbers. He came up to the major leagues and posted just a 1-win and 2 losses record with an ERA of 8.71 with the 1981 California Angels. Well, after the 81 season with the Angels, Doug decided to hang it up and no longer pitched in the major leagues. So, very, very happy to add Doug Rue. I again apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, to my collection. I had never gotten him before, but just put in perspective, this guy was one of the best pitchers on that Dodgers staff during that era. I mean, he was, very amicable, very good pitcher, with the likes of Don Sutton and et cetera that were on that pitching staff. So, very happy to add those to the collection. All right, so this final one, by all means, wasn't a long-time major leaguer. But, if you remember back a few videos ago, this has been a little bit of a while, I shared with you a couple returns, and I finally completed the entire card with Brian Allard, Jerry Don Gleaton, and Greg Mahlberg. And if you recall, I talked a little bit about my disappointment with, Brian signing over Jerry Don. But with that said, I decided to include the one with just Brian Allard, which Mahlberg signed. And I actually included an extra with nobody else on it, just a blank one altogether, and he signed that one. And in addition to that, I happen to have minor league sets of Greg as well, where he was a manager. So let me tell you about Greg Mahlberg, and I'm so happy to get this card completed. I may send this one next to Jerry Don to try to get this one completed again. So stick with me, and I'll tell you about Greg Mahlberg and his career in baseball. Mahlberg, a catcher, played his college baseball at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, in Madison, Wisconsin, so University of Wisconsin. He was signed as a minor league free agent by the Texas Rangers organization, although according to his stat page, he also spent some time at the Philadelphia Phillies minor league system. I don't know if that was a catch consideration thing or a waiver deal or what that was. But after one season with the Phillies, he was back with the Rangers, where he spent the 1975, 76, 77, and 78 seasons, respectively, playing for their AAA and AA affiliates. Well, in 1978, he did get one call up to the majors, where he appeared in one game, making one at-bat on September 24th, 1978. Well, he would start the 1979 season back at AAA, catching for the Rangers organization. However, they did give him a call-up again to the September call-ups, where he appeared in 7 games for the Rangers that year. Well, in 1980, he would again return to AAA for the Rangers, but this time he didn't get called up. Well, after the 1980 season, he was then traded to the Cincinnati Reds, along with Danny Walton, for Greg Hughes and Don Werner, who was also a catcher. He would spend 1 year with the Cincinnati Reds organization in AAA, and then after that, the Reds would let him go, and he would spend a couple, games with the Seattle Mariners organization in the 1982 season. Well, after the 82 season, the Mariners kept him on board, and they gave him a spot to coach in 1983 in their farm system. He would then spend the next 15 years as a minor league manager, working for the Chicago Cubs, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays organizations. He had a career of 904 wins and 1,050 losses as a minor league manager. He managed in the Class A California League for so long, 8 seasons, that at one point he held the league record for the most victories by a manager, 526, until Lenny Cicada broke that in 2007 with the most career wins in the California League. So in total, he has a lifetime 111 batting average with 1 home run and 1 RBI. I mean, that's just amazing that this guy, those are his career numbers. That he got his 1 home run, he got his 1 RBI in the majors, 18 total career at-bats that spanned 8 games. So, it's just amazing that this guy as a catcher, had the chance to, at least live out his dream. And not only that, he did hit a home run in his very limited time in the major leagues. So, with that said, I'm very, very happy to finally finish off this triple card. It's always nice to finish off the triple cards, especially when you're talking about cards that are 40 years plus old. Like I said, I may send this to Jerry Don. These two actually to Jerry Don to finish off, and then, Brian Allard, maybe for a third time, and maybe we'll get lucky and we'll sign it in blue. So I want to thank Mr. Mahlberg for signing. I also want to thank Doug for signing as well. And again, I apologize about mispronouncing his name there. If I was saying that wrong, I completely apologize. I also want to thank Dan Graham, who's the man, to sign. And again, I need to look into seeing if these other guys do sign through the mail or not. I want to thank you for taking the time for joining me for another episode. And as always, I look forward to your comments below, and happy collecting.